Sometime in the not-too-distant future, the United States had changed into Panem, a prominent capital city surrounded by 12 districts, each more destitute than the last. English is no longer the national language. It is spoken in the capital. However, each of the other districts has their own language to avoid the possibility of gathering and uprising against the capital. However, many districts contain secret schools in which English is taught. District 12, the poorest of them all, is home to CMMS, an underground English program which students attend with the hope of one day leaving the district to live in the capital. It is also the home to Katniss Everdeen, the heroine of our story.
Gail, do you see what I see?
If you mean the deer, then yes, I do. Are you going for it, or should I?
Let me get this one.
Katniss silently pulls out her bow and arrow and sends an arrow flying. Gale loudly claps his hand once. The deer runs away.
Thanks a lot, Gail.
As she utters these words, she quickly pulls another arrow from her quiver and releases it. But the deer is moving too fast and escapes.
Anytime, Captain.
I hate it when you come like that.
This is all par for the course. Their relationship is somewhere between that of a teasing brother and sister and a young romance. Neither is entirely sure where it stands, but there's a spark between them.
Forget about the deer, Katniss. We've had quite a day today, and I don't really know how we've been able to bring it back into the district anyway. Speaking of which, it's beginning to get dark. Let's send it back.
Listen, let's face one problem at a time. If you had let me kill the deer, we would figure out a way to get it back to the home. But you're right, it's getting dark. Let's go.
The two begin making their way back towards the gap in the fence that they use for these little excursions. They count up the animals they've brought back with them and divide them evenly once they're inside the district. The next day, Katniss and Gale are at CMMS trying to improve their English skills, and before class, they're speaking in their first language in the hallway.
I can't believe it's time for the Hunger Games summer games on soon. How many times is your name in the drawing?
I lost count. It's going to be at least 20 or 25 by now.
One of the ways that the citizens of the district can survive more easily is by trading extra entries in the drawing for more food and other supplies. Usually by age 18, the prospective tributes have their names in at least a few extra times in order to help their families eat well.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know what I have to do if I watch you leave.
Just then, Katniss' sister Primrose and their friend Peeta walk up.
Katniss, how many times is entered your name this year?
About a dozen or so. At least I can go hunting to keep us going. What about you, Peeta?
I think I've only been entered 2 or 3 times. You know, it's one of the blessings of having bakers as a family.
That's great, Peter, but anyone can be a lucky winner in this horrible game. Well, how about you, Prem? Katniss hasn't let you enter any extra times, has she?
No, just one. If I were couldn't have it, if I were chosen.
Oh, it's okay. You're not going to be chosen. It's impossible.
The friends talk a little bit more about what the design of the arena might look like, wondering what horrible things the head gamekeeper has in store for them. Then, they separate into their classrooms and try to push the impending horror out of their minds. Only a few short days later, it's time for the drawing.
Hello, my dear District 12 citizens and tributes. Today is a momentous day, the day we choose the tributes for this, our 74th annual Hunger Games. I want to remind you that the Hunger Games are a sacrifice that all 12 of the districts make each year to remind ourselves how grateful we are for the wonderful, generous gifts from the capital and how great our president is.
So generous, that capital. They allow us the pleasure of slaving away in these horrible conditions to make sure their lives are easier and easier.
And if we complain, they'll beat us or kill us. It's so generous of them to take such a personal interest.
I don't know all about that. Well, do you know you want a new life in the capital?
Well,
I do.
no.
And so now, we always remember the indiscretion of the district 75 years ago when they attempted an uprising. Our beloved capital showed them the error of their ways, and now each year all of the 12 districts, one boy, one girl, offer themselves as gifts to the capital to show their unending support. Without further ado, the drawing will commence.
As all the young people face their possibility of near certain death sentence, there's a low murmur across the crowd.
Let's just get this over with. I don't want to be chosen, but if I go, I'll be back, and that's a promise.
Don't be so cocky. Some police professionals from District 1 and 2 are incredibly well trained.
Although Katniss doesn't like to be doubted, she knows the truth of Gale's words. The pros train their whole lives, hoping to be chosen, or even volunteering for the games. The conditions in District 1 and 2 aren't as bad as those in District 12, so they take the games as more of a challenge than some sort of punishment.
First, we will be choosing our male tribute. And the lucky contestant is Peter Millar. Come forward, Peter. You must be so proud.
Peter's face sinks, showing anything but pride. He solemnly shuffles onto the stage.
Welcome, welcome, Peter, welcome. Do you have any words for our crowd?
This is such an honor. I can't believe you chose me.
I know, right? So few enjoy this privilege. Anyway, on to our next contestant. Joining Peter for the 74th Annual Hunger Games. Primrose Everdeen!
Captain guards quickly take Prim by the arms and begin dragging her towards the stage as she wails in protest.
Welcome, welcome, little one. Oh, dry your eyes. Your sacrifices for the betterment of this district and our capital.
Katniss racks her brain, but she can't think of a better solution. Her mouth begins to move.
I volunteer!
You what?
I volunteer as tribute. Take me her place.
Well, this is highly irregular, but I guess it is your right. Come on up.
Primrose rushes off stage and into the arms of her waiting mother. Katniss makes her way to the stage.
And who might you be?
Katniss.
Katniss what, dear?
Everdeen.
Ah, truth be known. Perhaps you are related to the other Everdeen girl, a big sister, maybe?
Yes, and I'll be back to see her soon enough.
Oh, such pluck! It's charming, darling. There you have it, your tributes, Peter Millar and Katniss Everdeen. Right this way, we have much to do.
But wait, I need to say goodbye to my family.
Come.
Please let us say goodbye!
Come.
Despite their protests, the tributes are whisked away to a small holding room and left alone. About an hour later, Katniss's family arrives, and Peeta makes a call.
Mom, Katniss's family is here. Where are you? You couldn't even bother to come and say goodbye to me? Jeez, I can't believe it.
Oh, Frank, I'm so glad to see you.
Katniss, I am crying. What will I do without you?
Yes, you are the only gift of crying.
Oh, you're speaking as if I'm never coming back. The capital is going to serve you up in a nice place for your sacrifice. Everything will be okay.
Katniss, listen, we're comfortable where we are. As long as you're here, I just can't believe this. You know how hard it's been since your father died. No, you might not know. You have a plan, sister.
No, I don't have a plan. I'll figure it out as I go along. Don't worry.
You need a plan. You want to have a chance to survive, you need to have a plan. But you sometimes, not often, but sometimes you are a little gruff.
Yeah, I suppose it's true. I'll figure it out. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
Time's up, family.
get up.
No! Katniss! Don't leave me! I'm not sorry! Hey, don't touch my boobies!
hiccuping, as if intoxicated.
Mr. Fairley came to say.
Hey there, tributes. Name's Hamish.
The Hamish? Who won the Hunger Games?
No.
Nice to meet you, Hamish. What are you doing here?
Officially, I'm here to try and give you all the help I can to get you ready for this year's games.
And unofficially?
Gonna give you an advice on how to best enjoy the next couple of days before you both die.
Oh, that's grim. Well, I don't know about this boy Peter here, but I'm not doing any dying anytime soon.
Got a lot of confidence here, little lady. Hope your survival skill I have as well developed as your ego.
Actually, Katniss is pretty capable. I'm a little bit more worried for myself than I am for her.
Well, in any case, let me tell you what I ought to do. Take advantage of the next few days. You're gonna have a chance to try some amazing food. You've certainly never tasted before. And you're gonna see some parties so decadent, it'll just make your head explode.
How gracious of the Capitol. Whining and dining us before killing us on live TV.
Yep, that's how it goes. Anyway, the important thing coming up is your training. If you show some promise during your training, you're gonna have a tiny chance at survival.
Candace and Peeta enjoy some fancy parties and find that their studies at CMMS have prepared them to understand a lot more of the English spoken by Capitol residents than they expected. When they are brought in for an interview with President Snow, they nevertheless use their translator because they don't want him to know their secret.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! Tonight, from District 12, we have two John Lee tributes this year. Miss Katniss Everdeen and Mr. Peeta Milan. Let's first speak with Mr. Milan. Come here, my dear boy.
As Peeta emerges, he manages to keep a big smile on his face. He has decided that his strategy will be to make up for his charm and what he lacks in physical prowess. He sits opposite President Snow and begins the interview.
Welcome, Mr. Peeta. So tell us about yourself.
Well, you know, I'm just a humble young man from District 12. I go to school like everyone else my age. I come from a modest family of bakers. I work with my family when I'm not in school. It's a simple life, but it's good enough for me.
Wonderful, I think. So, have you been a fan of the game in the past?
You know, I've been watching ever since my parents decided I was old enough.
Nice. So, you know what's in store for you. What do you think will be your greatest strength already?
Well, I think love will be.
Love? Excuse me, you say love? Whatever do you mean, Peter?
I'm afraid Katniss is going to be a little bit angered with me for this. However, well, we wanted to keep it a secret, but it's quite the coincidence that's the two of us going into the arena together, because you see, we're a couple. We're deeply in love. I hope that our love will get us through the challenge ahead.
At that, the crowd roars and the viewers all over Panem gasp. No one is more shocked than Katniss, who knew nothing of Peeta's plan. Her initial response is anger. However, backstage, Hamish attempts to talk some sense into her.
What is this guy saying? I barely know him. What is he doing? What would Meow think?
She's thinking a lot more clean than you are right now. Maybe your only slim opportunity will survive. Even that, the one thing the Capitol doesn't love, that's dramatic TV. I suspect he's got a plan, but we don't have to wait to iron out the details.
Well, isn't that just special? John loves roaming in the district. And what chance you will be together in the arena? What do you know? But you know something. 24 enter and just one can leave, my dear Peter. This will certainly make for some variety.
You know, if I'm gonna die, I'd rather do it beside my beloved.
Thank you so much for your time, Peter. Now run along, get out. Come here. Now, the next interview will be with the object of his affection. Come here, Miss Candice Everdeen. Baby.
As Katniss walks out and sits in the interview chair, a glimmer of even more ridiculous idea flashes in her eyes. Suddenly, she knows what she can say to take Peeta's ridiculous plan even further. She decides to completely hide the fact that she is an able hunter, and instead paint a picture of a dainty young lady.
Welcome, Miss Katniss Everdeen. What a privilege to have been chosen for the games.
It's a greater privilege to be here with you, Mr. President.
Whoa, beautiful and charming. And I didn't understand what Peter's in you. Can you tell me more about your love story?
Well, Peter's right. I'm a little bit mad at him because we didn't want his Stuart romance to get in the way of the thrills and the dramas of the games.
Nonsense. A romance like this builds on, a romance this builds on the drama?
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I'll tell you that yes. I love Peter and he loves me. We're both gonna work things out, just the three of us.
Sorry, did you say 3?
I didn't say 3, Mr. President, just the 2 of us.
No, wait, I distinctly hear 3.
Oh, I don't know. It's better not to say.
No, I'm sure. It's not. Go ahead, what is that?
Well, I'm pregnant. Peter's going to be the father of my baby.
The crowd goes even wilder than before. Now it's Peter's face that turns red backstage. But again, Hamish quickly assuages his doubt about the plan.
You got this in the story. Well, Captain, just read this text. Got a lot of things to do and how to keep this going.
Well, this is quite a revelation. Unprecedented in the history of the games. The games must go on. Thank you for your time, Miss Katniss Everdeen. Now get out.
After the interviews, Katniss and Peeta become hugely famous in both the capital and the districts. During the combat training a few days before the games, Katniss finally reveals how capable she is with a bow and arrow, and the excitement surrounding her only grows.
Now we have a chance of getting you some sponsors.
He's right, dearies. If they think that you have a chance of winning, the people of the capital will be sure to throw some money your way.
Well, I'm sorry, that's all good and stuff, but I think I can overcome by myself anything that the capital or the other tributes throw at me. But, sorry, Peter, I don't know about my lover boy here. I sort of don't want to go home with him.
Well, I'm more principled than you know, but the truth is, Katniss is right. I mean, she'll have an advantage both due to the fact that she is pregnant and due to her abilities. I'll be a harder sell, I think.
Actually, I have an idea. It's going to take commitment and a little risk.
Hamish asks Effie to give him a moment with the tributes to discuss his idea in private. She obliges. Soon enough, the time comes to start the games. Katniss and Peeta find themselves on platforms surrounded on all sides by water in a lake split into 12 sectors. 2 platforms and 2 tributes in each, divided by paths connecting the surrounding beach to a much larger platform full of weapons and supplies on the inside. As they gain their bearings, Katniss knows that any chance she may have at survival begins now, and that she must go to the weapons and supplies as quickly as possible.
Peter, let's look up. Get to the center and go quick as you can.
Okay, Katniss, on it.
As the 2 dive into the water and begin swimming, another tribute makes his way into the water near Peeta and begins to try and drown him. Katniss sees what's going on and doubles her efforts, finally grabbing a bow and arrow, and sends an arrow flying, which kills Peeta's attacker.
Thanks, Katniss. I don't know what I would have done without you. That guy was strong.
He was from District 4. If you think he was tough, wait until you see the ones from Districts 1 and 2.
I shudder to think.
No sooner has Katniss said the words than the female tribute from District 2 jumps on her back and begins strangling her. Peeta grabs a small blade and runs at Katniss's attacker.
Thanks, but I think I could have figured it out by myself, of course.
Sure you could.
Thanks, dear.
Since Katniss and Peeta know that they are constantly being watched, they have to maintain the charade of their romance at all times in the games. Other tributes make their way through the stockpile, so Katniss and Peeta realize they must obtain all they can. They grab backpacks in order to hold everything they'll need.
So here, there's First aid kit.
Sounds good. Hey, look, a sword.
Cool.
So, weapons, check.
Okay. Okay, there's water. Get some water and I'll get some food.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Just then, a small girl who looks remarkably like Katniss's sister, Prim, comes running around the corner, hotly pursued by an attacker about twice her size.
Hey, look, it's that same girl that was attacking before. She's out for blood.
She's not getting this time.
Die! Die!
So, that's that. So what's your name, little mouse?
True. Wow, your Katniss, you're on fire.
Oh, it's just Katniss's fire. Wow, you look so much like my little sister.
I don't think so. I think I have some longer hair.
Looks a little
Can I
prettier.
come with you?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I don't know, she seems like a liability. I mean, she might slow us down. What if she decides to kill us in our sleep?
Slow down, but I couldn't try in case I'm not very business. But if I you go to the ocean, I can see all the enemies.
Well, what do you think, Peter? We need all the help we can get.
I don't know what she's talking about, but I think maybe we can bring her along for now. But you know, there's really no way that this can end well.
Oh, come on. We just cross the bridge when we get there. Speaking of bridges, let's cross that one, or else somebody else will come and kill us.
Let's go.
Katniss, Peeta, and Rue retreat with their supplies and go into the forest. As they are looking onto the central lake to try and survey the carnage, they make an estimate of how many remain. But Peeta begins to realize something about the arena's design.
How many did you reckon are left?
Well, there were the 2 that we killed, but I really don't know how many others.
Maybe it's like a thunder or something like that.
Yeah, there was a noise. I heard it.
Oh, I think it's the capital place when one trooper dies.
So how many did you hear, Katniss?
I think I'm here 4.
So R2 plus 4?
I think it's 8 in total. I finished. Yes.
Are you certain?
Yes, good, sure.
Okay, so what's next?
Wow, so a third of the tributes died in the opening moments. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, what's next?
I'm putting together a theory on the design of the arena. If you look, it's divided into 12 slices.
Well, at first I thought it was to represent the old districts, but then I thought about pizza.
No, pizza. It's a clock.
Clock? Well, it's possible, but what's its purpose?
I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
The 3 begin to look around the woods for some shelter and a more stable source of fresh water. Suddenly, the clock strikes, and a strange hissing sound appears all around them.
What the heck is that?
Look, up there.
Do you really reckon we ought to wait around to find out?
They look in the direction that Rue is pointing and see a menacing green mist spreading towards them. As it gets closer, they notice that it is burning the trees and other plants that comes in contact with. The 3 run as fast as they can and hear screams in the distance. Just as they make it out of the section, quickly filling with gas, another cry rings out. But this time, not so far away. It's a cry of war, not panic.
Peeta, are you okay? Please tell me you're okay.
Ow! Katniss, what the hell are you doing? Oh, no, I'm not okay.
Please, be awake, I need you.
I mean, I'm awake, but I'm not doing so great.
Katniss and Rue run away.
You gotta go. Get out of here. You gotta go on without me. I'll just slow you down from here. Come on, go. You gotta survive. You and Rue. Go.
They hear shouts and other sounds of a struggle behind them. Finally, they hear a thunderclap, indicating a tribute had died. Katniss' heart sinks as she realizes it could have been Peeta. They continue running until they are far from the spot where they left PETA. By this point, it is dark. The two climb into a tree and try to get some rest.
Turkey Jacker! You don't need to say that again. Let's go.
They drop from the tree, but suddenly another tribute appears and dives onto Rue. A fight begins, but when Katniss is finally able to move the attacker from Rue, she sees it's too late.
Thank you for you everything. I don't want to be longer. Please forgive.
Two more loud booms go off, indicating the end of Rue and her attacker. As the day goes on, Katniss wonders, avoiding other tributes. She hears a few more of the same ominous noises, indicating the end of a few more tributes. By later in the day, there are only 6 more apart from Katniss. Katniss hears voices in the distance, heading in her direction. She climbs into the trees and waits silently as the voices get closer. One sounds familiar to her. She pulls out her bow and arrow, but just as she's about to fire, she recognizes the voice.
PETA, is that you?
Hey, Vita, look, who do you have here? It's your little girlfriend.
PETA's new friend quickly captures Katniss and pins her against a tree. Katniss has no idea what to think, but she feels betrayed by PETA. As they have her pinned, she notices a tracker-jacker nest above. PETA notices as well, and distracts his new friends for just a moment.
Hey guys, look right over there. Do you see that? You gotta come and see this. Come here, guys. Come here. Leave her alone. I'll take care of her.
PETA's friends make their way over to where PETA is pointing. PETA quickly tosses Katniss back her bow and arrow, and she fires a single shot.
Run! Go!
What were you doing with them? They almost killed me.
They decided to let me live. I guess to get to you. I don't know.
And you go along? You're crazy or what?
Well, I knew that once we were back together, we would figure something out. Look, it worked out, didn't it? Come on, babe.
Later, Katniss and PETA have run out of water and make a bold decision. They decide to leave the relative safety of the woods and return to the supplies at the center, hoping to find more fresh water. They make it onto the platform. Then they notice the 3 final tributes, all from District 1 and 2, circling the lake. A huge fight ensues.
No more, no more.
In the end, Katniss and PETA are the only ones left. They know they have to use their own plan to overcome the Capitol and both survive.
Strangely anticlimactic, Katniss.
It's just you and me. Oh, PETA.
Well, you know what we gotta do now.
Yes, I do. I don't want to live in a world without you.
And I don't want our child to be brought up in a world without a father or a mother.
Katniss produces a small handful of poisonous berries. She gives half to PETA and keeps the rest for herself. They each put the berries in their mouths, but just as they are about to bite down, the arena goes black. The two pass out from a gas that the gamekeepers pump into the arena. A helicopter appears as if from nowhere, and Katniss and PETA are lifted out of the arena. Katniss awakens in a strange bed, in a strange house. But as her eyes focus, she sees her mother, Prim, and Gale standing vigil.
Is that really you?
Yes, Katniss, you're back. You won the games.
Yes, it's been a final over.
But what do you mean? Where's PETA?
He's in the next door, sweetie. I don't he's awake yet. Oh, he took a worse beating that you give her. So you need to regain strength, and after that you can go sing.
Nice to see you too, Katniss. What the hell? Suddenly you're in love with Peter?
Oh, Gail, I thought you of all people would understand. We just pretended the whole thing up. We needed to survive.
Katniss, I thought we had something.
Oh, Gail.
Go! Sorry, Gail. She's waking up. Give her some time. Oops, the food. Sorry.
Then why are you so anxious to see him?
We've been through a lot together. And Gail, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm not happy to see you, but I think we need some space.
You want space? Fine, I'll give you all the space you need.
Gail storms out of the house. Meanwhile, at President's Mansion in the Capitol,
This is inconceivable! One tribute surprise. These two idiots think they can outsmart me? I made them pay! More than they know!
Please, sir, I'm sure it was not their intention to do this unintentional. They were so overcome by their love for each other. They just couldn't bear to be apart from each other.
No matter, you know, before we return them to their little squalid and ugly district, we need a few tests to learn something more about your love beers.
Like what, sir? They were open all the way through.
Oh, well, some things about this in.
after recovering to some extent, Katniss makes her way over to check on Peeta. He's still in bed, but awake.
What's up, Peter?
Katniss, is that you? We made it? We made it? We survived?
Yes, it's amazing. Okay, listen. I've been thinking about what we should do next. The capital is worse than ever. We need to do something for the memories of the tributes, for Rue and even the tributes we killed.
What do you have in mind?
We need to overthrow this government. President Snow has to pay for everything he has done to us. Let's go.
Sounds good.
Just then, Hamish and Effie rush into the room.
Katniss, he knows.
Sorry, who knows and what does he know?
Yeah, President Snow, Katniss. He knows the truth about you and Peeta. He knows that you tricked him. He gave you a pregnancy test when you were knocked out.
And you must know that President Snow is not the type of person who likes to be tricked.
Effie's words stay in everyone's mind for the next few months. The stage is set, the revolution is afoot. CMMS becomes the headquarter of the rebellion, and English becomes the language of winning the war for freedom. And for those dear audience members who do not learn English, may the odds be never in your favor.